$0, zero support, zero excuses. That's the kind of beginning most people run from. But this man, he carried it like a torch lit in a storm, held low, protected by both hands, never letting the flame die even when the world around him went dark. He grew up in a neighborhood where ambition was treated like a rumor, something people wished for but didn't quite believe in. If life were a deck of cards, he'd been dealt the kind that makes most players fold. His pockets were empty, yet his days were full. Full of unanswered questions, full of the kind of silence that makes you hear your own heartbeat louder than anything else. And still, every morning, he would wake with this strange thought burning at the back of his mind. What if I try anyway? That's the spark. That tiny, unreasonable, almost naive question that has built every great life you've ever admired. One evening, sitting outside a small workshop where he had spent the whole day cleaning floors just to earn a meal, he watched a bird struggling against the wind. It wasn't big, it wasn't strong, but it kept pushing through the gusts. Wings trembling, but moving. And at that moment, he whispered to himself, "If the wind is strong, it means I'm facing the right direction." From that day on, he treated every difficulty the same way, not as a wall, but as proof he was walking towards something worth reaching. He didn't have money, but he had time. And time, if you learn to shape it, becomes a tool sharper than any blade. While others slept, he was learning. While others complained, he was planning. While others blamed the world, he was building a life out of quiet decisions no one even noticed. His first small success didn't come from something grand. It came from fixing a broken chair for an elderly neighbor. No charge, just kindness. She told her friend. Her friend told someone else. And suddenly, he was repairing more things than he could count. That's when he understood a truth many people never learn. You don't rise by waiting, you rise by becoming useful. Money didn't appear overnight. Support didn't magically show up. But his reputation did something money never could. It began to travel ahead of him. Days got busier, nights got shorter, and one afternoon, after months of work, a local business owner approached him, not because he was famous, not because he was impressive, but because someone had told him, "This young man shows up no matter what." There were still setbacks, the kind that break people, tools stolen, deals canceled, promises broken, storms that destroyed weeks of effort in a single night. And yet when everything collapsed, he would return to that same question that had started it all. What if I try anyway? That question became his anchor. One day, after a full year of relentless work, he finally bought his own small workspace. Nothing fancy, one table, two tools, and a window that overlooked the same street where, not long ago, he had swept floors for food. Standing there, he didn't smile, he didn't cry. He simply breathed. A long, quiet breath, the kind you take when you realize you're no longer fighting the world. You're shaping it. People often look at success like it's fireworks, loud, bright, explosive. But his path was a candle flame, slow, steady, unflickering. And maybe that's why so many people never saw it coming. His greatest lesson wasn't in the money he eventually earned or the things he bought. It was in understanding that excuses are just stories. And stories can be rewritten. He used to say, if you can't start big, start honest. And honesty in its purest form means facing your reality without running from it. In interviews, the rare ones he agreed to, he would share a line that became his quiet motto. Greatness begins the moment you stop arguing with your circumstances. That's not loud motivation. That's the kind of truth that stays. Years passed. He built a company, then another. He employed people who reminded him of his younger self, hungry, uncertain, yet carrying that same stubborn spark. And whenever someone would ask him how he went from nothing to something, he would smile softly and reply, "I didn't climb a ladder. I carved one." He never claimed his journey was special. In fact, he insisted the opposite. He believed anyone could rise the same way he did, slowly, deliberately, persistently. Because the real magic wasn't his talent. It wasn't intelligence. It wasn't luck. It was the refusal to surrender the moment life got harder than he expected. And if you listen closely, the moral of his story isn't shouted, it's whispered. It says your circumstances don't decide your destiny, your decisions do. It says the wind that tries to push you back is the same wind that lifts you once you keep moving. It says your story doesn't need a perfect beginning. It just needs a beginning. You might not have money right now. You might not have support, but you have breath. You have time. You have hands, ideas, willpower, and a mind capable of rewriting everything you were taught to believe about your limits. And just like him, your rise will not come from being noticed. It will come from showing up on the days when no one is watching. So, if your life feels heavy, if your pockets are empty, if you feel completely alone, remember the one thing he built his entire journey on. What if I try anyway?